Hello, you guys, and welcome to the third episode of the Astrology Sessions. I hope you are doing well on this May 1st, May Day. Now, interesting, in Europe, May Day, and particularly in France, but it's a holiday. And it's called the Fête du Travail, which is why the holiday of work means nobody works. But this holiday has its origins before our Western world. It basically begins the summertime. And the idea is it's when the harvest, and so it happens to be an absolutely gorgeous day today. But there are numerous holidays in particular regions that harken back and that connect us all to the earth, to the harvest. In fact, in Paris, in France, it's a tradition that you give these beautiful, oh my God, the smell is incredible. And they are lilies of the valley and they smell incredible. And you give them to friends. And you see the most charming streets of people selling them on sidewalks. And you can buy a big pot of them, or you can buy one and just give it to a friend. And it's a nice thing to do. It's a beautiful tradition. And it's nice when things from the natural world seep into our lives. And so as we are in the month of Taurus, which is a month connecting us to abundance, to nature, to food, to stability, holidays marking this time are a beautiful thing. And it's something that when I got here from America, I was absolutely shocked. But it's one of these cultural touchstones that, I think a lot of times people aren't thinking that it goes back, many hundreds of years to sort of pagan rituals. But also that it really is to connect us to the natural cycles in our world and to celebrate them. And it's so many beautiful things about France and Europe, and that is one of them. And so on this Fête du Travail, holiday of work, where nobody works, and they actually make it a long holiday. They do a thing called pont, which is like they bridge the holiday, so then people take tomorrow off and make it a long holiday, which is a nice way to live because it's about work-life balance. It's about feeding ourselves. And if astrology is about nothing else, it's that. So on this May Day, Fête du Travail, I am wishing you all the abundance and blessings for your year to come, for you and yours. And may we all bring in the harvest for each other because that's what it's about. Now, in the next week, the astrology, as I said, we are in the month of Taurus. So what does that mean? We are about our money. We are about stability. We are about our foods and nourishment and health because it's a month that is very much linked to health. I have an article on my site with all the specifics and things to do, but you want to connect to. So a lot of times people in this month find themselves deciding to get into a health routine, decide to kick a bad habit, decide to break free from the things that they always do because they know it doesn't serve them. And it's hard. Nobody said it's easy. But the motto for the month of Taurus to keep with you every day is comfort kills. It is the month that every time you take an action to break out of your routine and to do something that is not comfortable, but ultimately leads you towards your best self, is the move. Now, obviously that's true always. But in the month of Taurus, which is an earth sign, it gives us the ability to actually make lasting change. So yes, people say it could take 40 days to start a habit. I kicked off the month with saying, after the new moon, talking about not hitting the snooze button on the alarm. What are some things, and it can be a simple thing. One year, I remember I tried drink more water. It doesn't have to be a huge, thunderous, it could be saying a positive mantra to yourself every day. It could be looking for a new job. Right? Looking for something that's going to bring you peace. Because in this month, as I've been seeing around, remember, peace is a luxury. And it's something that we all deserve because, again, luxury comes from the Latin meaning light. It's light. Doesn't mean it's something only for a few. Doesn't mean that people without money don't deserve it. Not at all. It's something that we all deserve. And so in this month, whether it's starting off with bringing your friends flowers or choosing to eat healthier or better sleep habits or whatever, take the time to do those things that serve you because it can last. And that is what we want, you know? Love my month of Sag, but not generally the time to start like that new workout routine, right? It's just not. So, using times and windows and the energies when they're at their strongest is going to help us in our results. And so in this month, be about figuring out your finances. And remember, finances are about the things that support us, right? Do we have healthy ecosystems? Are we getting our money from good sources? Are we giving our money to good sources? You know, it's a time to really reflect on the circuitry in our life because, as we recall, the second house of astrology, what Taurus rules, is the house of money, of earned income. It's the money you make when you do a job. It's the money you make when you're every day clocking in or showing up. And so, is it serving you? Is it nourishing you? Because we also know people can make money and be very unhappy and be very unhealthy. You know, it's not just about the thing, it's about what's inside of it, right? So, money is great, but if it's from a bad source, it's going to be tainted and it's going to taint. And so, it's important in this month to really take stock with yourself of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and does it serve you? Is it really what you want to be connecting to in both ways, where you're getting and where you're giving? So on that note, I also wanted to mention another thing about this holiday, which I just think is amazing, is it's called May Day. And the origins, obviously, of that are m'aider, meaning help me in French, which is the origin of, you know, when people are in combat and when people are in battle, how they ask for help. And I say this because the month of Taurus is linked with the bull, which is stubbornness, right? Which, listen, you got to be stubborn to get something done. You got to put your head down and get through it. There's going to be challenges. You say no. It's an amazing quality to be focused, to be determined, to know what you're doing. It's also important to know when to ask for help. It's also important to include other people in what we're going through because none of us does it alone, right? None of us does it alone. And one of the beautiful things of the month of Taurus, which we will be in for the next few weeks, is that it is a month that is linked with pleasure, with luxuries, with enjoying our lives. And that is also medicine, right? We tend to think of health as eating our carrots and are we having enough water and are we getting our steps in that day? Are you sleeping well? Do you feel at home in your body? How are your rhythms? You know, there's a lot of talk and an increase in the different forms of relaxation, right? Because a lot of times, and I gotta tell you, especially traveling, you see people traveling on holiday and they don't look like they're relaxing and recharging. They look like they're stressed. They look like they're trying to keep up. They look like they're trying to hit their itinerary. And it's like, is that where you're getting your nourishment for your soul? You know, you go to a beautiful place like Paris or France, or you go to Yosemite, or you just go to the beach, something near where you live, the mountains, you go for a hike. Are you on that itinerary? Are you getting things done? It's a real time to look at what is giving us pleasure, because pleasure, relaxation, enjoyment, those two are medicine. Laughing, fun, in this day and age, especially with everything going on, the attention, it's what matters. And we have to remind ourselves, we have to remind each other. My friends are constantly doing this for me. Like, whoa, wait a second. Are you sleeping? What are you eating? You know, those reminders, because all of a sudden you realize, wow, I haven't really had the healthy foods in a couple days and I've just been going on kind of quick stuff. And take the time, nourish yourself. It's a month to remember to always come back to nourishment, whether it's your food, whether it's your money, whether it's your communities and your friends and your daily routines. It's time to take it to the simple, everyday, what are we doing? Because again, that's the earth signs, right? It's about stability, and the stability is the foundation. So do you have it? Do you want it? Is there some fear there with it? You know, a lot of times We might have fears because of our childhood or because of the unstable times that, kind of make up our lives, right? So take the time every day to connect to what nourishes you, because abundance, wealth, these are words that we can too quickly just go to money. And it's about all of it, right? It's about all of it. So remind yourself, remind your friends, what are we focused on? What are we looking at? And is it in a holistic sense? Because holistic, remember, whole. It's the root, right? Again, the root of the word is whole. Again, holy. The root is whole. So remember that this month, especially as we're having so much take our attention away, so many things stress us out, so many things that we're rightfully concerned about. And how best can we serve ourselves and others is by obviously taking care of ourselves and taking care of others. So make sure you and those around you are taken care of. And that is how we can build the world that is better serving us and others and can bring more joy and fun and all those delicious Taurus things that we want. So one astrological note about the upcoming week on May 4th, may the 4th be with you, because Pluto goes retrograde. Now, Pluto is a big generational planet, meaning it's something that affects the collective consciousness and all of us, as it's in this 14-year cycle in Aquarius. It's ushering in a period where we're looking at our whole society and our systems, and do they serve everybody? It's a beautiful, important thing. It can be very heady, right? Because Aquarius is an air sign, so it's figuring things out, it's future oriented, it's technology oriented. But remember, prayers are a technology, right? We have to start considering, what are the technologies we're using and why? Maybe we have more technologies at the ready than we're using, and we can start doing that. So when Pluto goes retrograde, it's a time to go inside, right? We're seeing the enormous changes needed out in the world. We're seeing all the things happening. It's also happening inside of us, right? There's revolutions going on inside of us. People are realizing their friend system, their families, their jobs, things they've been around their whole life not only aren't aligned with their values, but are actively working against them, right? That are actively working against others. And it's a lot of shock and awe right now, where people are really grappling with the severity of our world and the systems they've benefited from and contributed to. It's a great, huge wake-up call. I mean, great in the sense of big. Fantastic. It's hard. But it's big. And so taking that energy, taking that wisdom, when it goes retrograde, it's about going inside. So it's going to be an inside job. Pluto is linked with Scorpio, and that means depth. That means secrets revealed. That means not being able to pretend anymore. And it's on a personal scale, remember, and it's on a global scale. So we're going to be seeing things are going to come out. How do we deal with those, right? Aquarius, again, can be very heady. Pluto, being Scorpio ruled, is about depth. It's about emotion. The Kabbalists teach that Pluto links to our soul. It is massively important. This is a huge time for us to make incredible advancements, not just with our outer world and how we're living, but with ourselves. But you got to be honest. And girl, no one's saying it's easy. But there are tools, there are teachers, whether it's meditation and exercise, whether it's getting a therapist, finding a spiritual practice. I've studied Kabbalah for years. It's been a wonderful wisdom that keeps me in check in a number of ways. Finding places, wisdoms, and tools to help us through this era is going to massively improve not just where we get to, but the journey, right? Because if the journey is the thing and we're not feeling good, that's a problem. That's no bueno, right? We can go through hard times, and how do we handle them? And again, seeing that we need help, It's not a problem. Just the key is to be open. You know, there's a saying, open to me the eye of a needle and I will show you, miracles in the world. Open up. That little can be huge. If there's something you've been curious, maybe it's a book you've wanted to read, maybe it's a lecture you've thought to go to, maybe it's a workout class, maybe you thought, oh, maybe there's something to that meditation, Kundalini. There are so many ways to move the energy and heal ourselves and help us to create the world we want. And with Pluto, it's revolution. With Aquarius, it's revolution. And the key there is evolution. Re-evolution. Let's do that. Let's take this time because it's here, right? It's here and happening. So eyes on the prize of what you want to build always. Keep that dream alive. Keep that what you want in your life, whether it's relationship, job, money, home, health, community. Keep those things present as you're doing your work because we do create what we imagine. And right now we're having the ability and it's going to be turned inward. So starting May 4th, and it's already started, but the point is starting May 4th, we're really going to have things confronting us on a personal way. And so want you to be prepared for it and I want you to use it. So wishing you and myself and all of us an amazing week, an amazing month of May, and may yours be filled with just beautiful gifts of flowers. And remember, you can always get them for yourself. Oh my God, they smell so good. Have a great week. Be so well.